Hey, my wonderful, divine, feminine Scorpio placements. Christina here, Ginger Mama, coming at you with your extended monthly Tarotscope for the month of October. Welcome. Now, listen, I gotta be real with you guys, okay? You know I keep it real if you follow me on other platforms. And I was channeling for you, and it was kind of disturbing, okay? It was like I was underwater, and it's like I could see the moonlight, right? It was really dark, but it was like you could see the moonlight or the sunlight, but it was like you couldn't get up from underneath that water, right? That Scorpio subconscious energy. But then there were like images, and this happens a lot in visions and dreams, you guys, of like people having sex, but like not in ways that I would want to. Okay? And so maybe there's going to be this energy for you. Scorpio does rule genitalia, sexual energy. We are having a massive Pluto return when Pluto is ruled by Scorpio energy. We're also hitting Scorpio season on the 23rd. So happy birthday to those of you that have October Scorpio placements. I have a Scorpio moon, you guys. So I'm like, what is happening this month, God? Because I'm like, ooh, I watch my own sun, moon, and rising back every month, and I'm like, those were so accurate. So, okay, so don't panic. Let's get into the cards. There's nothing shameful or wrong about sexual energy at all. I just feel like some of you are maybe called to tap into that, to explore it, to really explore maybe like fantasies or fetishes or like past trauma, just, you know, with yourself. Like, I don't feel like you're supposed to be engaging with other energies. Yeah, that squirrel. It's like run away from other like energies, but kind of like this idea of like, yeah, you like how have you used sexual energy? Have you used it in a way to like get attention or like flirt, or have you used it in like a powerful way to harness and help channel and access? And it, you know, again, nothing wrong with having sex, but we want to make sure it's in the right energetic way, okay? And that you really are clear on what it is you do and do not want, what your boundaries are at the same time, right? So often people start having sex with people and they're just let all boundaries go out the window, or they get, you know, high or drunk and are just like, do whatever. And it's like, this is your holy sacred vessel. And so really tapping into like, how do I really want to explore sexual energy? Okay, but I do feel like this is meant to be on your own. If you're with a sexual partner, it doesn't mean you can't with them, but just be very mindful of any sexual encounters you're experiencing in the month of October, okay? All right, yeah, we got the Ten of Wands reversed. And I always take wands to signify also sexual energy. So it's like, I would not be having sex with someone right now. Lay that burden down. You can channel sexual energy in such a powerful way. The more you do it on your own, the more you're able to like unlock these chakras. It's mind blowing to me, especially because I grew up Catholic, and it was like that whole thing of like, don't touch yourself, don't masturbate, don't anything, which also might be part of your block, right? That you experienced cultures that, you know, or religious groups that told you couldn't even touch yourself. I mean, think about that. It's your body, right? There's no shame in that. But the question is, how do I want to touch myself and treat myself, and how am I going to let others? So we're going to get on. I'm not trying to lecture, but happy to talk more in like a client reading about channeling sexual energy and clearing it and all of these things, okay? Because it's a trip. All right, so October 2nd, we're getting out of Mercury retrograde. Hallelujah! Hallelujah, okay? Let's hope our tech is better and communication is going to be a lot more grounded. We're a lot more logical in how we're looking at anything, business, relationships, how we want to communicate in those, okay? The 4th through the 5th, we have that Aquarian energy with the moon conjunct Saturn. I always take this transit to be like just a collective time to like regroup, refocus, double check your friend groups, kind of look around like, what's the energy there? Or check back in maybe if you've pulled away for a while, you want to dip back in and be like, okay, are we matching energies yet? That can be a great time to reach out. On the 8th, we have Pluto direct Capricorn. This has not happened since April 19th. And this transformation is about elimination. But understand, it's not just eliminating people, right? Or places or things. It's also eliminating self-limiting beliefs. So, you know, you might have a self-limiting belief that you're never going to find the love you want, or you're never going to have the job you want. Yeah, or you're never going to have, the 10 of Cups, the happily ever after. You do, but you need to find it with you first. And many of you, maybe there is something significant about to occur in love for you this month, okay, Scorpios? I don't know. We got sexual energy, we got 10 of Cups out the gate. What's going on? You know, we have, I'm just like, whoa, this reading feels like this energy of like 1,000 things happening at once. It's like you're underwater, you're drowning, but then there's this piece, and then there's that, and then you see the light, and you're like, I'm doing it all. Talk about that rebirth. That's what Scorpio energy does. They rebirth, okay? And so don't panic. You're just in the birth process, okay? And that's painful. That's messy. That's a process. On the 9th, we have the full moon in Aries, which I am jazzed about. I am an Aries sun. Also understand we're in Libra season. Aries is the opposite on the zodiac wheel. So anything you were doing, think back 6 months ago. Where were you putting your time and attention? You know, if you were like getting out of a relationship and really focused on that, then now you're going to see that, you know, starting to have more forward movement, cultivation. If you started a relationship, now might be the point where you're like, this isn't working. I need to make a choice to leave, you know, or to commit and stay, right? And then tell yourself this, same with money. You could have started a business 6 months ago, and now suddenly you're seeing more of the fruition of that. So tap in with where you want to see yourself in 6 more months, okay? I like that opposite, you know, pairing there. Strength reversed, Queen of Cups reversed. Please remember that the more you are in massive emotions about a situation that didn't or did not work out, I assume, because Queen of Cups reversed, the weaker you are going to feel. This is about finding balance and duality. And many of us are tied to energies where they had zero emotion, right? So then you carried all the emotional burden of that connection. And this gets very challenging because as you're trying to rebalance into a stable way, this person is still stuck here. And then the energy is all confused within your energetic field. So try to balance out those emotions. Release, release, release. Just let the tears out and then stand up and move on with your day. We're not just going to lay in bed this month and be depressed and sob and stalk people's social media. No, we're going to rise up and do as we're called upon. Look at that. Look at that light. Many of you might be having that with the Aries full moon as well. A lot of activation within your upper chakras, third eye, crown. I am happy to discuss any of these activations in a personal client call with me. Just please book a half an hour or an hour one if it's about that, because that gets really detailed in how we, I help guide you in that way. But yeah, you need to make the choice. You know what I mean? That choice of the Page of Cups. It's like, are you going to keep waiting for someone to be emotionally, you know, available and like commit or propose to you or like tell you how they feel? Or are you going to be like, fuck, that's enough, and walk away? And be like, this isn't working. I'm weak. I'm imbalanced in my emotions. And it's not because of me. Well, it is if you're not setting boundaries, right? But it's also because you're not getting your needs met. And so when our needs are not being met, we have a choice. We can stay and not have our needs met and be unhappy, or we can collect our strength to rise up and leave and say, I trust if I can heal from this and get out of this situation, my needs will be met in the future because I will know better how to judge energies like this. And reminder, you're not going to be left out in the cold. Finances look good for you this month, by the way. The Five of Pentacles reversed. Whatever you're working on in your career, maybe slow down a little bit with that. The squirrel looking at me. Maybe slow down a little bit and reevaluate. I know with me, Source keeps telling me to like talk slower. Some of you also, when that happens, Divine Feminines especially, you know, don't freak out if like in dreams or at times you kind of feel like you're channeling other languages, so to speak, or just feel called to certain goddesses or whatever it might be. Speak that. It helps clear the energy, and it doesn't have to be at anyone, but this is just at home. If that comes in, it's normal. I've had this happen with like Japanese and French, some Spanish, and I'm very interested this month. I feel like Source keeps telling me like, I know there's someone I'm supposed to connect with about this in some way. I'm not sure who. So yeah, some of you, it's like, just allow it to come out whenever it comes out. I've been in the car and I'm like, what is going on here? I'm almost wondering if it's like possible to translate in some way. You know what I mean? You're not crazy. I know everyone's going to tell you that. They're like, oh, that person's crazy. I don't even like sharing, you know, online because I'm sure I'll get the trolls saying that. But you know your truth, and they're going to see their truth, and you just keep going. And again, don't go out in public and I'm going to speak what I think is, you know, French. No, like, just, this is with Source and prayer or meditation. I do know a woman that once said that she was in a situation where a man was trying to basically kidnap her, and it just came out of her, this other like language and forceful thing, whatever you want to call it, light language, some of you. And this man freaked out and basically was like, okay, I'm not messing with you, go. and a much older man who'd probably done this to a lot of women. So understand that you're being gifted these gifts that will protect you in all circumstances. God is putting the crown, the halo on you to protect you from dark energies. So make sure you're protecting your energy. I feel like that feels very important for you this month. Taking the time to be like, I call in divine protection. I run the crown of gold down my head. I push away all energies that are not aligned with my highest and greatest good. And so follow your intuition. I feel like some of you, the High Priestess reversed, the Knight of Pentacles, it's almost like this in you of like, I know intuitively I'm supposed to change something, but you're kind of afraid to do it. So that's up to you. You can stay stuck as long as you choose. The 10th, Mercury enters Libra, which again, more balanced communication. This is great. We got the Virgo, we get to think about the communication. And then Mercury, when it's in Libra, we have more balanced communication. The 14th through the 22nd, we have Venus in Libra trine Saturn in Aquarius, which is all about transformations in love. And so a lot of you might be feeling a big shift, whether that's because you're leaving someone or maybe someone new is coming into your energy, or in person. And just be really clear about what you want with the universe at that time. If you're communicating with anyone, really take the time to make sure you're listening, but like you're also communicating, like that balance, right? Like, is this balanced, or is someone talking at me or over me? Am I listening? Am I pulling back? I know my Gemini rising has had to learn that on my journey for sure. I talk, I teach, I educate, but my God, when I get off my recordings and my daily day, I'm just like, I gotta be quiet. It's balancing that. The 23rd, we hit Scorpio season. Scorpios, that's you, right? And I just feel like, again, it's like this feeling of like, I know you've been betrayed. I know you've been heartbroken, but you got to keep thinking, I'm about to like come up from under the water. I'm going to have some form of like you take a breath. Like, I feel like by the end of the month, maybe that, the 31st, we hit the new moon. It's a solar eclipse in Scorpio. So again, I feel like this Scorpio culmination, that's about new beginnings, and finding answers from like the inside out. And so as you've gone in the month of October, if you do this, protect your energy, go into hermit mode, you're going under, you're kind of pushing away other energies, you're learning about yourself, spending some weekends in, journaling, meditating, whatever you feel called to. And then you're going to I feel like by the end of the month, you're going to be like, oh, okay, look, that did happen like that. And you're going to be feeling much better. You're going to be feeling a massive shift in you. And so just don't be afraid at these things that come in. If anything feels dark or scary, just push it away. You have the power to do that. Like I said, yeah, ding on my phone as I say that. You definitely have the power to do that. Don't dance in it. Don't go trying to explore it. Don't go trying to talk to dark entities. I'm telling you, that's going to mess with you. The Magician reversed. If you go down that road, you will be so in your head. Anytime a dark energy comes in a dream, in a vision, in anything, a shadow, this is also where people who take a lot of psychotic, whatever, I'm not judging, but people who take things like that, they spiral into exploring those paths, and then they really go cuckoo. And so especially this month, I would just focus on your own connection with source. You don't need any type of drug or medicine unless you know that is something you're divinely guided to for whatever situation you have. But I just want to point that out. So what else, source? It feels like there might be some clarity in love at some point, but it feels more like internal work for you, Scorpios. Yeah. And look, finances look good. Again, that 5 of Pentacles reversed earlier, and then the 9 of Pentacles. Focus on your finances. Focus on what you want to create in the future for you. Focus on really grounding yourself and getting more of possibly a routine in place when it comes to your work. Yeah, the Tower reverse. I know people were shady and they lied to you, but that power, that pain that you had is going to transform into power to rebuild yourself. The Tower reversed. And if you continue to sit in that pain or demand that somebody expose, what they did to you, it's going to just break you down even further. And so, I know it's hard to do. I know it's so hard. But Scorpios, you got this. Please consider watching also your moon and rising sign if you feel called. And also Venus placement. Source is always calling on me to mention that. So if you have, my Venus is in Gemini, But if you don't know yours, go look up your astrology chart. It's free. Yeah, ding. Do that. Check that out. Happy to book personals with you at gingermama.com with the 3 A's there. And I love you. I will see you back next month. Have a great month.